Peace. Quickly, think fast. We are grown ass souls. In essence, of course, maintaining a childlike nature, but grown ass souls. And what I'm speaking to is, that aspect of, you know, like certain information is not like, it's just like dealing with certain information is just like going through grade school. And we're not in kindergarten. If like a kindergartner, let's just say, a kindergartner walked into a 12th grade anatomy class, you know, they would see the penis and vagina, but more so again from speaking to also from the state of being in Western civilization, because they make the body so taboo and sex taboo, so on the flip side, so it could actually pervert it and make it more perverted. Because again, the reason why a little kid in America, like would pass by a woman breastfeeding and kind of be staring at it like, oh, look at those boobies, is because sex has been, turned into something so tabooish. And then when it is promoted, it's promoted in an unhealthy way, and like you got that whole aspect. But back to the situation, again, that's why, only a kid in America. Because again, a kid that's around indigenous things, a kid that always see mama, auntie, and my mom, titties hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Uh, they not tripping. They not like, oh, look at the titties and this and that, because they're not perverted. They wasn't taken away from that situation, and it wasn't made so taboo. The body wasn't made so taboo. So back to what I'm really talking about. I have to bring that all in. Again, like if a kindergartner walked in an anatomy class, it'd be like, oh, he talking about sex, or oh, they showing a penis, or oh, the teacher said this word. Like, a kindergarten not ready for, what I'm saying? And I say that they're not, but again, from the perspective of the analogy I'm speaking on, you know what I'm saying? They don't be ready for those higher classes. And I think about, with explaining some of this information, some people get caught up on, oh, he used race. Oh, you talking about black and white. Oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like doing like a little kindergarten, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? That person said this. I think in kindergarten, everybody used to sing everything, because matter of fact, they teach it. Matter of fact, like with subconscious programming, like, to get your ABCs and, program, in essence, it turned into a song, and the chorus is called a hook because of the repetition in music. But, like that. Oh, you did something bad. I'm gonna tell on you. Like saying everything. But just speaking on again, and that's just generally, and so bringing it full circle, like as we're growing on this spiritual growth, is about us, being grown-ups, in the sense of like, it's certain things that we should address, and by being scared to talk on a subject is, like that's the unhealthy aspect of like being a child, in essence, you know and I say it in that manner. But again, by us not speaking on things, us not being truthful, you know what I'm saying, of speaking on certain things, if this was what it is, like say for instance, if melanated people represent like the carbon in the body, you know what I'm saying, and certain, not again for what some people call themselves white or whatever, you know what I'm saying, but there's a certain parasitic energy, that moves through, again, less melanated people, but at the same time, again, melanated people are still susceptible to this parasite, biting them as well. Again, but this is what it really is. But if we're on that kindergarten shit, oh well, don't make it about race. It's really, what I'm saying, it's like, no, it's not making it about race. It's speaking on what's really going on, so we could really, really, deal with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like acting like, oh well, I don't see color. but yet I gotta work on my chakras, you know. So I don't know how I'm gonna do it then, but you know what I'm saying? How you work on your chakras if you don't see color? And again, this is not for us to get into our egoic mind and get into this collective trauma and and start to because that's the whole aspect too is like these parasites are trying to confuse us because again right now a person is all about embracing the indigenous nature. You could be as white as a fucking piece of chalk. You could be black as a fucking tire. You know what I'm saying? It is about embracing the indigenous energies and information, you know what I'm saying? Like embracing that information that come from past Kemet, you know what I'm saying? And dealing with Atlantis and Lemuria and really, connecting on some real authentic, vibes. And if, that's what it's, basically about right now. You know, again, it just so happens that, melanin within the bodysuit. Again, it's an astronaut suit, you know what I'm saying? So you look at your astronaut suit as just being compatible for a lot of sunlight, and this bodysuit kind of come with features that allow for you to kind of jump high and run a little fast, you know what I'm saying? Because again, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, the list goes on, as far as like superpower, athlete, strength, you know what I'm saying? Like all these different things. So again, that's a fact. At the same time, I'm not bringing that up to be like, oh yeah, bow down to me, I'm better than you, you know what I'm saying? But I am what I am at the same time too. Again, you know what I'm saying? It's that balance. It's like the bodysuit, you know. The heart has a very important job, you know what I'm saying? Pumping blood to the other parts of the body. It's not for it to be like, oh yeah, I'm better than you and this and that, but it is for it to understand what it is so it continues to do its job on the level it should. Because again, in this realm, a lot of beings been confused. You got, say for instance, you got quote unquote Jews walking around who not Jews, so you got little quote unquote, for lack of a better word, little white and black kids, you know, that's both being confused. Because here it is, you got a little white kid thinking he a Jew, you got a black kid thinking he don't even know what the fuck he is, you know what I'm saying? And so it just create lostness with the lies in general, you know what I'm saying? That's for all parties, all parties get fucked over with the lies, it's not just no white and black thing as much as it's just like, bro, let's bring forth truth, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is really going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, we talking about Ashkenazi Jews, aren't really, real Jews. As a matter of fact, that whole aspect, Ashkenazi, and then the last part of Ashkenazi, Nazi, and the Nazi party, and that whole little connection. Again, studying the information and the facts, you know what I'm saying? And also intuitively tapping into the inner gnosis and getting truths from there as well, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to deny truth that's coming from my inner source, that's inner source. So again, gotta be grown. Like, oh, he said black people and white people. He's a separatist. Oh. And I'm joking, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But again, we grown. So, in order to embrace, this paradigm shift that's happening within our inner universe and dripping into our outer universe, we have to be, grown about acknowledging what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And think about it, that's on all levels. When you when you really like a woman, or you really like a man, you really like somebody, the grown thing to do is to approach him, like some way, form, or fashion. You're gonna approach, because I know women like, I ain't gonna approach, but you're gonna be grown about, like, like, shit, like, if that's just what I like and this is what I, what I'm saying, I gotta acknowledge this and be grown about it. Now, of course, some of us still may have a little, like, shy, but again, it's like we're gonna address those situations, and to each his own. Again, as I'm speaking on this, I'm not speaking on it as from a platform, because that's another thing, making sure, like, oh, y'all don't get it, you're acting like a kindergarten. Hey, we all go through we all at some point wasn't initiated into the higher knowledge. The example I give is, chakras and crystals always existed, but I wasn't always initiated into that world, at one time, and you see how literally your inner world, depends on the dimension you're in, like what dimension, not necessarily like 3D or 4D, like that sense of it, like, like what realm are you in, and you can only deal with what realm you in. So while I was drinking 40s and popping Zans, I was only gonna manifest and create, the vibration that I'm giving off. So if I'm inside of me, all I'm doing is drinking 40s and popping Zans, then I'm not gonna meet an entrepreneur in my everyday situation, you know, because my because my inner universe is not reflecting that energy. Not to say that I probably haven't crossed, and that's the thing. Like, probably came across, a bunch of entrepreneurs that I could have talked to or whatever. But because I wasn't in that realm or that dimension, I was in the realm and dimension of manifesting more brethren and sisters who drank fives and pop Xanax, and more environments that, conducive for that situation, you know what I'm saying? Until I got initiated into some higher knowledge. And at one time, I was looking at meditation like that shit was stupid. You know what I'm saying? Again, we all done went through our little stages of that little growth, But, again, I say but. I say but. I ain't gonna say but. Uh, yeah, it's just definitely, acknowledging that we growing, be grown. Still childlike. We're not trying to be grown ups, and we're not trying to grow up in that sense, you know. But we are, again, ate from that tree of knowledge. You're accountable for the knowledge of the God that you are. You need. That's basically it. Peace, peace. Habit now. Now is the vibrates. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now.